Hi everyone, welcome to today's video where we are doing another full face of one brand. I put out a post on my community page on my channel recently and I asked you which drugstore brand you would most like to see me cover next, and you voted unanimously for L'Oreal, an absolute powerhouse of a brand. I have so many products that I know and love by the brand, but I wanted to purchase some newer items and put them to the test and then demonstrate them for you today with my opinion. I genuinely think that L'Oreal is at the higher end of the drugstore, and I think that not just in terms of quality, but definitely in terms of price also. So if you are interested in seeing a full face of L'Oreal, then please do keep on watching. I'm going to start with, well, I'd say this is a primer. This is the L'Oreal Glotion. This is a natural glow enhancer. It's marketed here as being new, but I don't think it's new. I think it's just new to us. So it's a little bit like the Hollywood Flawless Filter, all the other glow products that I've tried recently, and I love them. You know I love the glow. You can use this on its own, you can use it under foundation. This actually promises to give up to 24 hours of hydration, and it contains glycerin and shea butter, and actually it really does feel lovely. I know not everybody likes glow, so I'm just going to use this on half of the face, because then you can see the foundation on its own and see what that's like in comparison to having this underneath. I don't really like going in with my fingers with products, but actually I think with this product you kind of need to. That's how it looks on the back of my hand. It looks really glowy there. I was a little bit worried when I first saw it. I thought that I would come out looking a little bit metallic, but actually it's not like that at all. So I have this in the shade, this is the light glow. So I'm just warming it up on the back of my hand, and then I think we'll go in on this side. Yeah, so now my face is looking a little bit luminous anyway at the minute, because I've just used my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, well, about 10-15 minutes ago. So this doesn't give a ton of coverage. It's not going to cover anything like blemishes or redness. It's just going to give you a little bit of glow and a little bit of something extra. This is the side without, and this is with. Nothing too crazy or shimmery, just nice. Just up my street, really. So price-wise, I'm going to pop on the screen what I paid for these products. They vary wildly, and I do really believe, like I said in the intro, I feel like L'Oreal, they're kind of on the higher side of drugstore, so on the highest end price-wise for sure. So next we're going in with brows, and this product is the Infallible Brows Microfine Pencil. You know I love a microfine pencil. My favorite drugstore is the Maybelline Express Brow, and this is actually very similar. So if you can see, it's got a very fine tip there. And I actually have two brow products, so one to kind of fill in the brows and one to set them. I'm going to get my mirror so I can see up close. God, that gives me a lot of light, doesn't it? This is just from Amazon. It's actually really good. Anyway, I need to be able to see. I'll just fill in my brows as I normally would. And this is in the shade Ebony. So as I said in the intro, there are no first impressions here. I've been testing and using all of these products. I like this pencil, I think it's really nice. What I would say is I like the fine tip, but the formula is very, very soft. So because of that, I can't create really individual hair strokes, which is what I really like to do. The formula is very soft. In some ways a little bit too soft, a little bit too creamy. It gives a really nice natural looking brow, but it's not sharp enough to do the really, really tiny fine hair strokes that I love. The next brow products I have, I've had this, I don't know for how long. It's been a good couple of years, I think. And this is the L'Oreal Plump and Set Brow Artist. And I used to like to use this because, not necessarily for the setting ability, I mean, it does set them fine, but it actually has little microfibers. So this is the size of the wand, and I just think that's perfect. Absolutely perfect for brows. This is in Ebony also. I'll just set the hairs in place, and I always do my brows first. I don't have any brow hairs, so actually a product like this is great, but ordinarily I wouldn't go for a tinted brow product like this. I prefer kind of clear products. It's okay. It's not something that I would reach for on a regular basis, but it does the job and it doesn't leave the brows feeling sticky or hard. I think there are better drugstore options out there, but they do the job. Eyes when it comes to L'Oreal. Eyeshadow is slim pickings, my friends. If you live on this side of the world, if you go to your L'Oreal store, you won't even find an eyeshadow there. Any store that I went to. So Boots stock a good range of L'Oreal here in Ireland. Not one eyeshadow to be found. So I had to go to Amazon and go to the L'Oreal store, and there wasn't much there. Now there was a one pot shadow that I really wanted called Amber Rush. So I think it's a one pot cream shadow. It was £16 sterling for one shadow. No, I'm not paying £16 for one eyeshadow, even though I really want it. So instead, this was what I chose, and this was the best of a bad bunch. Look at this old school eyeshadow palette. Now I've used this a few times and it's fine. It's a little bit dusty, a little bit, but actually the pigment isn't bad at all. So I'm not gonna lie to you. The eyes are not gonna be great today. It's gonna be the most basic of eye looks. I actually like this coppery shade. How much is on the brush? Like, so the, you know, the pigment is there. So this is the Colour Riche Smoky Eyes. Do you know what? I'm going in with my Refa 33 and I'm just going to take it actually all over the lid. Because why not? Why not? I have lots of L'Oreal products in my collection that I love, but I've never gone out of my way to find a L'Oreal eyeshadow. And it was only when I went looking for stuff for this to test that I realised that, wow, L'Oreal are really not known for their eyeshadows. And even with this palette, which is fine, they're all shimmery shades. And I don't really like to use just shimmer on the lid. It's handy to have like a matte just to use in the crease. We're making do with what we've got today. That's what we're doing. Like I said, we're not here for the eyeshadow today. You could actually just throw on this colour and actually be on your way, and it would be totally fine. I actually like this brush from Refa. It's the 33. It's very versatile, so you can use it just to throw on some eyeshadow and just blend out the edges, or you can actually use it just to pack on colour on the lid. I like it. Let's just try and use all the colours. So we'll go into this kind of neutral brown here. If you're getting this, I mean, it's actually really handy for traveling and stuff. You're not going to get, you know, super buttery shades, but just make sure that you are tapping off. It's kind of dusty. There's a lot of kick up with these. They're not, you know, super shimmery. I would describe them as soft shimmers. We'll go into the darkest shade. We'll just darken up the corner a little bit and maybe do a little teeny wing with it. Okay, then we'll go in with the brightest shade. Just brighten up the inner corner a little bit. I still have a lot to clean up. It's fine. It's totally fine, this eyeshadow palette. But as I said, L'Oreal not really known for their eyeshadows. One thing they are known for though is their mascara. And I have a bunch of L'Oreal mascaras, but obviously I can't wear them all. They have all been tested. And if you want to see an in-depth mascara review of L'Oreal Telescopic Lift, the Lash Paradise and the Panorama, they're all included in my drugstore mascara video, which has an in-depth review of each one of these. But today we are trying a brand new L'Oreal mascara. So this is the L'Oreal False Lash Oversized mascara. My favourite L'Oreal mascara would have to be the L'Oreal Panorama. I think it's a really lovely all-round mascara. This one I've been testing out, and this is very good. Now, I would say it's a little bit of a combination between the Telescopic Lift and the Panorama, but it definitely does give more length and volume. Now, my lashes, just a heads up, are going through their cycle at the minute where they are shedding. So every 6 to 8 weeks, our lashes will fall out, they will shed, and sometimes we don't notice it, but sometimes they will all happen at once. And it's definitely happening a lot on this eye. So this mascara has its work cut out today. I don't feel like this camera actually picks up mascara very well, but I will actually insert close-up footage of my lashes and it just performs so well. Just pop it onto one eye for you and you can have a look at the difference. So that's one coat, and actually I think it gives a really good amount of length to the lashes, especially for someone like me who has no length and has no volume. I think that if you already had good lashes, you will be obsessed with this. I absolutely think it's up there with one of the best mascaras that L'Oreal have created. So let me just pop some on the other eye. So that is one coat of the mascara, and I forgot to show you the one, but it's quite small, which I really appreciate. And as with the Panorama mascara, it is tapered. So if I just show you them side by side, the black is the new mascara, and very similar ones. Very good for getting into the inner corner and trying to fan out those edges. If I was to choose between these two, I think if I just wanted length and I wanted a little bit of drama, I would go for this new one. I think it's really good, and let me tell you, it wears absolutely amazingly throughout the day. There was one day I wore it for almost 12 hours and honestly did not budge. It's not a flake in sight, it didn't transfer, my lashes didn't drop, and I really like this. I don't think I could choose between the two. One thing, it does dry down quite quickly, so you probably want to move quite quickly when you're applying it, and it's absolutely brilliant to remove. It comes off straight away. So yeah, they've come out with a really good mascara here. So complexion wise, I'm very excited about this one. If you've been on my channel before, you'll know that I love this, which is the L'Oreal True Match. I think this is just as good as any high-end foundation. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. But this, oh my goodness. I can't believe I've only just started to use this. This is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum. It's pretty pricey, so I think this retails for about 20 euros. I think this is marketed confusingly because I still don't really know what this is. So when you apply this, it feels like skincare, and I think it is designed to be a makeup skincare hybrid because it contains 1% of pure hyaluronic acid. When you put it on, you think, I am literally putting on a serum, I'm not going to get any coverage from this. Wrong. This actually sets down and gives a really lovely amount of coverage. So they say that it gives a light amount of coverage, sheer to light, but actually this gives me a solid light to medium if I build it up. One thing I will tell you, this is not a super luminous or glowy product, and I thought it would be. I've been wearing it every single day. I adore it. The only thing I don't like about it is the applicator. Look at how messy it is. I don't know if you can see. It's an absolute mess. I tend to pop it onto my hand, warm it up a bit, and then pop it on my face. So this comes in 9 shades. So they have flexible shades, so kind of light to medium, etc. So this is light to medium 3 to 4. And yes, you can go in with your fingers with this, and I think that's probably the best way to do it. I prefer a brush, you know, that's just my preference. So that's light to medium, and it just is lovely. Remember, on my face today, on one side I have the Glotion and on the other side I have nothing, so you'll be able to see how they both look. I do have to use a fair bit of this, so I've got it on my hand there and I'm just going to dip in. Now this is the side with the primer. So when it goes on, it feels absolutely beautiful. It feels hydrating. It feels like a skincare serum. You wouldn't know that you were putting on makeup, and it sets down with a higher level of coverage than what you started with, and it just looks like skin. It looks so natural. I love skincare and I do use a lot of hyaluronic acid in my routines. And one thing I do know is that you need to have hydrated skin if you are applying hyaluronic acid, because hyaluronic acid draws on water, draws on moisture, and if there isn't anything there to draw upon, it will just take it from your skin. So my best piece of advice to you would be, make sure that your skin is hydrated, make sure that you've moisturized. I mean, I don't know whether it would, but I can only imagine that if you did have dehydrated skin, this could pull it from your skin. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's worth just making sure. I mean, anyway, you should have hydrated skin either way. I wouldn't actually call it a tint. This for me is a good solid foundation. That's why I think it's confusing. So it's called a tinted serum, but it is actually a light that you can build up to medium coverage foundation. Absolutely, for sure. This is the side with just the tint. And this is the side with both, and they both look lovely, and your skin feels hydrated, it feels plump, it feels really natural, and the furthest thing from cakey. This is for those days where you don't really want to think about your complexion, where you just want it to look really natural, but you still want to wear makeup. It's great for the summer. I do have to use quite a bit of it to get to the coverage that I want. So this probably isn't going to last me quite as long as I'd like. As normal, you get 30 ml of product. I am in love with this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Next, we're going in with concealer. This is the Infallible 24-hour More Than Concealer. Now, this is a very, very full coverage concealer, so you do not need a lot of it. I think this is fantastic, but can I just say, trying to find my shade in this concealer, oh my gosh. So I ended up with the shade Cashew. I think it is a little bit yellow for me, but it's okay. It has a very, very big doe foot. Because it has a really large doe foot, it's very easy to apply too much. The best thing would probably be to just pop some on the back of your hand and go in with your brush. Oh, I'll just pop it on here actually to show you a little bit. And we'll build up, because if you apply too much of this, it will definitely get too much. But look how easy that blends. Isn't it? Oh, it's absolutely lovely, this concealer. And I actually, being real, I actually thought I was going to hate this, because I knew it was a really full coverage concealer. This, like with the Tinted Serum Foundation, they both set down on their own without having to use powder. Now I am going to use powder today because I want to show you some. You actually don't need a powder with this concealer. It will set itself. And actually, I've been using this concealer with this foundation because if I feel like I need a little bit more coverage, and if I think I'm lacking it from my foundation, from the tinted foundation, this gives me that little bit extra. So just dotting. If you want something to be more full coverage, leave the concealer to sit for a few minutes. I don't want any extra coverage because this is so full coverage. This is just as good as any high-end full coverage concealer, and it doesn't crease. No settling into my lines. It's just covered up everything that I want it to cover. So I'm just going to pop a little bit here. It blends out so well. The applicator and the tube is a bit messy though. You'd actually think with the price that you pay for L'Oreal, you know, it's not cheap. I know you're paying for quality and the name, but they could do with improving their packaging, to be honest. I've got a spot here, which is great. And then just pop a little bit around my nose. But yeah, I really rate this concealer. I think it's brilliant. I did mean to say in terms of fragrance that the Tinted Serum Foundation has a skincare kind of fragrance, which is, I find, really nice, but it's obviously not for everybody. So there we go. Not cakey, not heavy, a fantastic concealer, but go sparingly to avoid things getting cakey. Next, we're going in with bronzer, and this is the L'Oreal Bronze to Paradise. Now, this is in the shade 3, and I thought it was going to be so dark. I ordered this online. It's not dark at all. Look, it's just a really nice neutral brown. So I'm just going in with a Real Techniques brush. I didn't expect a whole lot from this bronzer, but it's actually really nice. I've been quite enjoying powder bronzers, powder products in general, actually. It's quite a lot more pigmented than what it looks in the pan. And it comes out on me a lot warmer as well, which I am okay with because I don't mind my bronzers being warm. You know, that's what a bronzer is supposed to be at the end of the day. Supposed to bring warmth to your face, and it's very buildable. I mean, it's not mind-blowing, but it's a really, really nice everyday bronzer. Let's have a little bit of fragrance. I can't really pinpoint what it is. Again, it smells like skincare, which I don't mind that. And I think this comes in, I think it's 3 shades. And it claims to contain 84% natural ingredients. So that can only be a good thing. Next up, we are going for blush. Now, I've seen that L'Oreal have some liquid blushes out. I need them. I need them in my life, but they are not available here. What a surprise. So I've got this powder blush. This is Le Blush in the shade Luminous Rose. And let me just show you. At the bottom, look at this mirror. I can't cope with how cute that is. And it comes with a little brush that I'm never going to use. I got this because it has some shimmer in there, so I didn't have to use a separate highlighter. It's a very pretty kind of cool toned pink. I do think it can emphasize a bit of texture. It reminds me a little bit of the NARS Orgasm. Has the shimmer in there, so it's not glittery, but it definitely has those particles in there, which gives it the shimmer, but it is soft. So that's just really pretty, isn't it? Doesn't emphasize the texture too much, so don't worry. And I applied that with my Zoeva 127 cheek brush. So have a look at my complexion there. It's all set down, and I'm kind of trying to avoid saying to a powder finish, but it has definitely set itself. My foundation has set itself, my under eyes has set itself, and I think it looks really good. Like, this makeup is making my skin look 10 times better than what it actually looks like. But we are going to go in and set it, and we're setting it with this. This is a surprise for me that I like this. I am a big fan of loose powder. I do like to use pressed powder kind of around the face, but under my eyes would always be loose. I've been using this with this foundation and with this concealer. It's gorgeous. And again, look, I think that's really handy. Why am I so impressed by the small things? I'm so easily pleased, aren't I? So I'm going to go in under my eyes. This is in the shade 4N Neutral. So I'm just going in with my angled eyeshadow brush, as I always do under my eyes. And I'm just going to set. You know how I know I like this? Because when I've been going out, I've been taking this in my handbag. So that's how I know this is a good product. It sets the face really beautifully. It gives a really soft matte finish, but it doesn't look heavy. It actually doesn't look like you've got powder on. I'm just going to it's described as a silky powder, but it's the definition of silk when you touch this. It feels beautiful, and that definitely translates onto the skin. I feel like it gives a lovely airbrushed finish, and I think this is as good as any high-end powder that I've ever tried. We're nearly done, and I want to share. So I purchased one of these lipsticks. These are the Intense Volume Matte Lipstick. So I picked this up in the shade Nude Admirable, or if you're from my neck of the woods, Nude Admirable. It's a gorgeous pinky rose. First of all, I thought that it was kind of cool toned, but I think it kind of borders on neutral. I'll talk about the actual formula in a second. I thought about one of my MAC lipsticks, okay. This is MAC Myrrh, which will have been reformulated recently. I haven't got the new reformulated Maximal of Myrrh, but I have the original. So on this side, we have Myrrh, and on this side, we have Nude Admirable. Now, I know they're not identical, all right? I know that. I think that Myrrh is actually a little bit more warm-toned, a little bit more mauvey, but on the lips, they look like the same lipstick. The other day, I put Nude Admirable on one side and I put Myrrh on the other. Could not tell the difference. I might actually even insert footage of me applying 1/2 and 1/2 of each so that you can see. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you are devastated that they've reformulated Myrrh and you're looking for an alternative. And I'm not saying that this is a complete dupe, because there is a slight difference, I would say, in the undertones. But on the lips, they look the same. They look the same. But I'm going to apply Nude Admirable with this lip liner, the Colour Riche lip liner in beige. This feels like a school pencil. Doesn't feel the most luxurious, but it performs beautifully. So this lipstick, it promises to deliver 16 hours of wear, and this is so long lasting. It says that it's transfer resistant. I don't know, I rarely find lipsticks transfer resistant. Okay, there are a few that will be, but this, although it's not completely transfer resistant, it lasts through eating and drinking. Yes, you will have to top up, but the main thing for me about this lipstick is that it is so comfortable. You forget that it's there, you forget that it's on the lips. Let me just pop this on for you. So there we go, that's Nude Admirable, and it's number 602. Everything about this lipstick screams high end, so just the packaging is elegant, it's luxurious, it's super slimline, so just fits into your handbag or your pocket without you even knowing it's there. But the actual performance and the finish and the look and the comfort of this lipstick is one of my favourite finds of this whole video. I have been absolutely loving wearing this. The colour, I think, is so beautiful and I think would be quite universal. So gorgeous. I would highly, highly recommend this lipstick. So there we have it, a full face of L'Oreal. I absolutely loved doing this video. L'Oreal have some absolutely phenomenal products. So if I was to pick my absolute favorites from this video, I would say absolutely the Tinted Serum Foundation. Look at my skin now. I feel like it's set down even more and it looks like a good medium coverage. And I think paired with that concealer, or any concealer actually, just to give a little bit more coverage in the areas that you think might be problematic, I think it's a perfect foundation. I wish you got more of it because I feel like I'm going to use it up quickly, but definitely my favorite find, apart from the applicator. Look, what a mess. The mascara, actually, I know I have rubbish lashes and I know I'm probably not doing it justice. I really think it's a phenomenal mascara and one that is going to rival some of their more popular ones. And finally, this is my new love, my new lipstick love. I absolutely love this formula. The pigment, the finish, the comfort, it ticks every single box, and I do believe that it is as close to myrrh as I'm going to get in a drugstore lipstick. It's fantastic. But lots of products there that I would recommend to you. Let me know though in the comments, what are your absolute favorite L'Oreal products? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure that we could do another full face at some point in the future. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, take care and bye for now.